Hello, everybody. Dusk descended slowly over the city of Parakou as the call to prayer from a small neighborhood mosque echoed gently through the bustle of the traditional market. A cloth merchant from the Pel ethnic group paused from arranging his fabrics. A Bariba mother took her daughter by the hand and walked toward a nearby prayer room, while a group of young men, some of them newly converted Muslims, hurried to join the congregational prayer. Scenes like this are no longer unusual in Benin. This small West African nation has become home to a rapidly growing Muslim community, marking a new chapter in its religious history. Over the past few decades, Benin has witnessed a transformation that is impossible to ignore. Islam is no longer merely the legacy of ancient merchants who once crossed the vast Sahara. It is alive, evolving, and coloring the identity of modern Beninese society. More mosques are being built, Quranic schools are filling up, and more children are learning to write sacred verses on traditional wooden boards known as alo. Even in major cities like Cotonou, the number of young converts studying Islam rises year after year. Within Benin's long-standing religious diversity, Islam is emerging as one of the most prominent social forces. The growth of the Muslim community, composed of long-settled families, migrants from the Sahel region, and new converts, has brought fresh energy and new hopes for the country's future. Though not the national majority, the heartbeat of Islamic development is felt everywhere, from the traditional villages of the north to the expanding urban centers of the south. The rise of Islam in Benin is more than a statistical phenomenon. It is a human story, a story of families, of evolving identities, and of a faith that continues to move from one heart to another. This is the first chapter in a long journey that shapes the religious landscape of Benin today. Long before Benin became the nation we know today, the land was merely a resting point for long caravans traveling from east to west along the trans-Saharan trade routes. Under the scorching African sun, tall camels moved slowly, carrying salt, gold, cloth, and a spiritual legacy that would one day transform the region: Islam. The Hausa and Songhai Dendi traders were among the earliest bearers of this faith. They did not arrive as conquerors, but as travelers who settled temporarily, opening trade relations with the local communities. In northern villages such as Niki, Kandi, and Banikawara, the teachings of Islam first spread not through grand pulpits, but through simple conversations held beneath the shade of baobab trees, gathering places where villagers met to talk and exchange stories. Over time, trade relations evolved into social bonds. Intermarriage became common. Children were born to Muslim merchant fathers and local mothers, carrying new traditions into Beninese households. It was through these early generations that Islam began to root. Slowly but steadily, small clay mosques were built. Scholarly texts from Timbuktu and Kano found their way into Benin, laying the intellectual foundation for Islam in the region. In the centuries that followed, the spread of Islam was strengthened by the migration of Pale or Fulani, Bariba, and Dendi communities, groups with long-standing Islamic traditions. Wandering scholars from the Sahel arrived with a message of peaceful teaching, offering lessons in tafsir, fiqh, and rich scholarly traditions. Many of them rose to become respected local figures, not only for their religious knowledge, but also for the wisdom they brought in mediating interethnic disputes. Islam did not replace Benin's culture, it adapted to it. Communities embraced new teachings while preserving their local identities. This is what makes Islam in Benin unique. It did not come to erase, but to blend into the rhythms of everyday life, within customary ceremonies, trade relations, family law, and communal values. Today, as one retraces that history, its traces remain visible. In old northern mosques, faded calligraphy on the walls stands as a witness to Islam's gradual establishment over generations. And in every village once touched by the caravans, the spirit endures, woven into the heartbeat of modern Beninese society. As the morning sun washes over northern Benin, life begins to move with a rhythm found only in this region. Bariba children run toward their madrasas, carrying aloe, the wooden boards on which they write Quranic verses. In the bustling traditional market of Parakou, pale women dressed in vibrant fabrics converse in a mix of local languages and Islamic greetings. Across the city, young converts gathered to discuss hadith and Islamic history through their phones, part of a new generation approaching Islam through technology. Today's Benin is a mosaic that grows more diverse with each passing year. Islam in Benin does not belong to one group alone. It is carried by many ethnic communities, each with its own cultural richness. Each group brings its own distinct heritage, yet all are united by the same faith. In recent years, conversion to Islam has risen slowly but steadily, especially in cities such as Cotonou, Porto-Novo, and Abomi-Calabas. This trend is not accidental, it is driven by diverse factors. Some are drawn after interacting with welcoming Muslim communities. Others seek deeper spirituality. Many discover Islam through social media, online lectures, or school friends. Schools bring together students of many religions, but teachers increasingly note that young Muslims show growing confidence in their identity through the wearing of hijabs, youth study circles, and emerging campus Islamic organizations. Geographically, Benin's religious landscape is easy to read. The north remains the heart of Muslim life, with a majority Muslim population and mosques standing in nearly every village, serving as social anchors. The south, more modern and cosmopolitan, is witnessing the rise of a new urban Muslim community, shaped by internal migration and new converts. In Cotonou, large mosques grow increasingly prominent, offering tafiz classes, libraries, and vibrant social activities. What makes Islam in Benin feel so alive is its blend with local culture. In rural areas, marriage ceremonies often mix ethnic customs with Islamic prayers. Birth celebrations include Quranic recitations, yet still feature traditional music. Meanwhile, in major cities, Muslim life takes on modern forms: modest fashion shops, women's study groups, and growing student-led social programs. Islam is not only a religion, it is a lifestyle, an identity, and a source of pride. A mosque in Benin is more than a place of worship. It is the heart of community life. Across many regions, religious leaders, imams, are respected figures, sought not only for guidance in faith, but also for moral leadership, education, and community mediation. Amidst diversity and changing times, Benin's Muslim community shows one unmistakable truth: it continues to grow, not only in numbers, but in spirit, contribution, and identity. Benin is no longer just a place Islam passed through. Today, it is a land where Islam lives, takes root, and flourishes with its own distinct character. Despite its rapid growth, Benin's Muslim community faces real challenges. In the northern regions, access to modern education remains limited, and many children rely solely on traditional madrasas. In the big cities, some youth struggle with identity dilemmas, torn between preserving Islamic traditions and embracing the growing influence of Western modernity. Yet from these challenges come new initiatives. Islamic organizations are establishing modern schools grounded in Islamic values. Mosque communities are launching microeconomic programs, and young converts are forming dynamic study groups. Islam in Benin does not remain trapped in history. It continues to move, adapt, and carve new paths for the future. Looking at today's developments, the future of Islam in Benin appears bright. The younger generation is increasingly active. Mosques serve as centers for social engagement, and interfaith relations remain harmonious, a hallmark of Benin's peaceful society. In both rural and urban areas, Muslims display growing confidence in expressing their identity. Blending local traditions with Islamic values, Benin moves toward a future where Islam is not just part of history, but also a source of hope and social strength for the nation. Islam in Benin is a light that does not fade. It continues to shine, to guide, and to remain a vital part of the country's story.